There's a bit of physio, a bit of last-minute lumbar treatment for Lydia Ko. She looks nonplussed by the whole experience, but slightly concerning.
I would say, honestly, not really. I mean, almost all players would get some form of physical therapy, whether it's just overall stretching or, you know, Lydia's won so many times.
It's the only introduction which differs slightly. The men's open and the women's open, they had defending champion for she who won it the year before. What a win it was at St Andrews.
Lydia with her patented little fade that she hits.
Who's out over the channel. Trish Johnson, who knows this place very well, watching this group.
Yeah, beautiful afternoon now. Lydia Ko, second shot from the right-hand side. She's got 183 yards. Not the greatest angle to come in from. However, the green does all slope left to right.
Here we go.
Wonderful shot there from Ko. Was helped by the fact that she does like hitting a fade, and she just used that beautifully and used the contours of the green to take it towards the hole.
Lydia Ko. Birdies from Lottie Wood, Lilia Vu. This one again you can see just down the slope towards the waves. Oh my word. There we are, 3-3-3, on we go. Said this was the group to follow. And it may well prove to be the case that there's some very good scoring for these three. No damage done. So we'll go back to Lydia Ko, just 128 yards, and coming in really from the right side to try and feed it down to that pin.
They do have a little bit of a slope on the right hand. Oh, didn't quite fly it far enough.
All the sunshine on the second green, and Lydia Ko staring this one down. She'll have learned a bit in terms of pace from the putt of Lottie Wood.
Yeah, it's tricky in that it's uphill and then downhill. We saw Lottie just slightly misjudged it coming back down the hill just in that last little third of the putt. See if Lydia's learnt from that.
It does seem so. Go on. Go on. Oh, that right there was just the wind coming back into her face.
Yeah, that was cruel. One roll more. But in for a par, birdie par start. And great opening couple of holes from the defending champion. Expect composed early on.
Christina, because sometimes you need the boost.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes it's definitely helpful knowing that you're seeing that people are showcasing love for you regardless of what you shoot, or they say, I know that you can bounce back off of that difficult round that you had in the opening round. As we see Lydia Ko here again going with that just a little longer than driver off the deck. That tee maybe a half an inch off the ground there. Really wants to use it to play it nice low. Doesn't carry quite as far, but allows to get a lot more chase out of that ball as we see it skirting past that bunker on the right.
She tees it nearly as low as you.
Same pace here.
Lydia, 134. Might release a bit on her this one. Try and land it frontish. Nice pin 22 on.
And that just scoots on by inside of 20 feet for her birdie. Well gauged there coming out of that rough.
High accuracy with their driving, very straight for the most part, but not this week. It'll test them.
There you go, lesson driver on the tee, and Trish Johnson watching on naturally here at the fifth.
Is it still Thursday? I feel I've been away for a while. 203 yards you need to pitch this, straight downwind. It's 220 to this. It's basically on the third tier of this green. Never seen it this far back before. You can get it pitching up there at 203. This is a friendly pin position.
Just knock it up there and watch it bound. Pretty handy there from Lydia Ko.
Yeah, Ali, I'm not sure that's quite...
You know a lot about that, Katrina, throughout your career.
Yeah, I had my husband Graham caddied for me most of my career. Worked very well 95% of the time, shall I say. Enough said about that.
Yeah, we saw the odd conversation after a round with you and Graham, and Lydia's just going to come up short. Lovely putt.
So those people's hands might be put together a number of times for the Englishwoman, now Ko.
Yeah, up the hill, this one. Slightly left to right to begin with. Up that hill. It straightens up at the end. Downwind. This is a tough putt to judge. No, she's done very well.
A point along this edge of the golf course. So we see Lydia Ko just finish out for her par. It makes me a little nervous when we show putts of that length, but when it's Lydia, you know you're probably in safe hands. So she'll head to 7, level par on the...
Yeah, 162 for Lydia from the right-hand side, straight downwind to this fairly front pin. She's going to have to land this a couple yards short if she wants to get close.
Just a fraction unlucky, just a yard too far right and fallen down into one of those collection areas.
Pinches in the middle, playing alongside the champion from 12 months ago at the old course St Andrews, Lydia Ko.
Look at how far she's choked up on this, looking to take a little bit of something off of this. Really sawed off that finish.
7th.
Back over to the short 8th, and Lydia Ko for birdie. Green's going to run around 11. Now Lydia Ko on the tee.
Lydia normally plays a fade, so this one being a dogleg round to the left is going to go against her nature. But with the fairways running the way they are, you don't have to hit a massive drive. But that will put her in a go zone.
Bright sunshine, not a cloud in the sky, just like this. But then, what? 25 minutes ago, we had a rain shower that came through out of nowhere. Lydia Ko now at the 9th.
See the bunker that's short of the green, and see the little hump to the left of it. So that's that back right bunker. Anywhere basically just left of that, and lets it right the flag in the front.
Paul, Lydia's caddy has just given her a target out on the right half of the green, and the reason for that is that the wind is into and off the right, and you have out of bounds down the left. Absolutely no reason to be overly aggressive to this flag that's sort of left half of this green today. It's got a good lie in this fairway from 208. And I think if it would be between Lydia Ko and Leona Maguire with the hybrids to see who would be the best.
It's got to hang on. If it'll feed down. Unfortunately, wasn't too much of a miss, but got away from her from there. But again, par 5 this 9th.
This was a little earlier. Lydia Ko from the bunker at the 9th.
Yeah, good look at those vetted face bunkers and a great shot.
It's going to be a
Longest drive over this 3, Lydia. Just 107 left. Has a wedge out. Whole location sort of on that middle section of the green, separated into 3 by little tiers, and it's quite a severe green if you're on the wrong tier.
How are the conditions out there right now, Karen? They look pretty perfect from here.
I can't believe my luck. It's absolutely stunning right now. A little bit of breeze, maybe 5 to 8 miles per hour, but that's nothing what I was expecting.
She just missed that ridge where the hole is located today. Slow putt up.
Just fine for the leave.
Now Lydia Ko over at 10.
Does have to come up quite a steep little tier in this green, so this one's going to be really slow.
There's quite a bit of undulation there in that 10th green, more than most holes on this golf course. Very steeply slope back to front.
There.
Here's Ko on the tee.
And this fairway shape, what to suit Lydia? Little fade with her driver, keeping it a little bit lower down there.
Paige, I don't think she could have teed that ball up much lower there.
I know.
Did you see it was barely. It was like a par 3 tee.
Which, I mean, especially in an elevated tee like that with wind around, it is kind of Lottie was.
Now Lydia.
No problem for Lydia, just a gap wedge off of a slight upslope. It is into the wind. Getting this ball all the way back to that hole is going to be tough.
Nice call, Karen.
I mean, I think you're going to have to try and kind of flight it and maybe even take a little off to try and keep it a little bit low.
And anytime Lydia has a putter in her hands, I always think she has a fantastic chance of making it. This one into the wind. And even though it's not as strong as it could be, it might still affect this putt. This green is quite exposed to this wind.
Well, all of the play is through the first hole here. Well, maybe not quite. They're just about back over to 12, and Lydia Ko.
I think she got the blueprint from Lydia exactly where to land this. Lydia's ball flight is slightly lower, so she could land this at the base of that bank and let it hop up onto that correct level. And she went the high route. This one's going to be a little right. And this is not an easy putt to judge speed-wise. There's a good little ridge that she has to go up and over. And that's a very big feature of these greens here at Royal Porthcawl, are the undulations on these greens. So not only do you have tough golf course, but the greens also being in the right position.
Not bad on speed, just a little bit of a misread there, but speed is always the
This is the tee at the 13th, and Lydia Ko.
Well, you got trouble down the right, you got bunkers down the left, and this one is heading out to the right.
Oh dear, some gorse over there. Oh, it's heading towards that gorse.
length off the tee.
It's the 4th shot for Lydia at 13.
It is, after having to take that penalty drop from the gorse bush on the right. And this is a bit of Lydia magic.
So good.
And Lydia trying to become the first repeat winner of 2025.
Lydia, throughout her career, this was one of the areas of her game that always felt like she knew and understood how to manipulate the ball, whether it was short game or wedge shots coming into the greens, and that was well done. Look how long she's kept her head down.
Sweet treat. Ko now for par.
She stood over that for a very long time. Looked to me that she hit it right where she was aimed. She was aimed at that left edge, but she stood at address for a long time, which makes you wonder if she wasn't a little bit uncomfortable over that putt.
So Lydia drops back in good shape. And now Lydia.
And its reason that it's tough is that it's a little dogleg downhill. You can't see where the green is, but you have bunkers on the left and a bunker on the right that really does come into play. And you're now into about a 12-mile-per-hour wind. It's slowly picking up, Tom, as the day's going on.
Yeah, that was what we were told that it would do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. The officials here have shortened the golf course by a couple of 100 yards. Moved some tees forward. How about this view as Lydia plays her second at 14?
It is a stunner, isn't it? Back down towards that 14th green. It's a 3 hybrid for Lydia. Ball does hang up in the air because you're so far above the green surface on this fairway.
Such an interesting hole because you're playing towards the water, towards the wind, into the wind, but it's the only green on the golf course that really slopes away from the players front to back, so it makes it tough to judge exactly.
Lydia for birdie at 14.
A little bit downhill. Morgan was saying about how this green slopes away towards the water.
I just don't look at her and think of her as being a second week professional, right?
Amazing. Ko now for par. Over to the 15th. Tee shot for Lydia.
You can see her alignment, taking it out towards the left portion of this green. Likes to play a cut, and then the wind is also moving that direction. So just needs to be careful it doesn't over fade with the wind direction.
Oh dear.
I think that's the balance of playing in the wind. Do you ride it or do you fight it and hold up against it? And in this case, a little misjudgment, perhaps a misstrike, given that it was also short of her target.
Here is Lydia from the bunker. A mouthful of sand there with the breeze. Of course, the golf course has been changed slightly. The 18th hole is usually the 17th, and the
with a lot of pace. There is some long grass that they would have known that felt like Velcro on the golf ball.
Lydia Ko for par. Oh, Lydia.
I think that was misread. And that was a couple short putts that she's missed today as well.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier her standing over it for a long time. We've seen that at times in Lydia.
Actually, a bit of a shot there. Well done.
Ko, third at 16.
Slightly flatter lie for Lydia, but still on a slight upslope.
They're challenging you, Karen, with this group today.
I've been working hard at my L's.
Yeah. Lydia, Lilia and Lottie all playing together. The R&A second bogey of the day. First one also came on a par 3 as we go to the 17th, and Ko.
I mentioned it's one of the more difficult holes to hit in regulation. Less than 40% of the field have hit this green. In fact, only 37%. That certainly doesn't help the stats. You can see why, though. Elevated.
Probably an hour and a half drive, so that's why there's a lot of people out supporting her. Now Lydia Ko.
Oh, what a beautiful shot. And the 17th hole is played so difficult. Remember that second shot ran through the green from this long grass. Look how delicate this was. Landed softly back into the wind.
Round. Lydia now with her tee shot.
This wind is on her back, Tom. A little bit So, got to fight that fade. Start it a little bit more left than Lottie did. Let it fade back to the middle. The left rough is not too bad. That has found that left rough.
Looked like it sat down pretty deeply as well. That started way left. Just shocked quite. I mean, she hates the ball going left, hates turning it over right to left, wants to see that ball fall to the right, but that start line was way too far left there. Just, as Karen, as you mentioned, important to pick the right target. I feel like she didn't have, just not a bad place to play from. Shortens the hole a little bit if you can find a decent lie in the fescue.
Lydia also in the thick stuff.
And because of her angle of attack, I've always found Lydia to be quite good from the rough. It's a little bit more out to in, able to continue the loft through the ball.
Yeah, that looked like it rode the face a little bit on her there. But yes, that shot she hit on the last hole as well. 17th was a thing of beauty. She just does a great job of keeping her weight on her front foot, which leads to that steeper angle of attack that Karen just mentioned.
And Lydia at the 18th to finish with a 4.
Another uphill putt. Didn't see a huge amount of break in this one. Maybe a bit to the right as it goes up the hill. Well, it did actually turn quite a bit.
Lydia, the champion last year on the old course. Described it as one of the greatest weeks of her life. And she thought her chances of winning, not only at St Andrews, but this championship was slim. And yet she was able to do it last year. Didn't